Hey Ram fans, it's Ruby Kaiser and welcome to the Rams Live pregame show. I've missed you guys. It's been a while since we've done one of these. The Rams are facing off against the Utah State Aggies tonight at 8 p.m. in Moby Arena, and man, do we have a show lined up for you guys. I don't know if you've seen our socials blown up, but the Sideline Bros have totally lit the CSU socials on fire. They're on campus this week. If you haven't heard of this gang of four guys, you're going to meet them later tonight on the show, and they've got a lot of personality. You'll have to follow at CSU Rams Live on our social accounts because they're pumping out all the content, collaborating with us. I even challenged them to a little volleyball match yesterday. I brought in the big guns, though. Kekua Richards, Eve, and Aaron all joined me from the volleyball team, and we played a little 4-on-4. They were talking a lot of smack to us before the game, and I think they ended up learning who was boss in Moby Arena after that. The Rams are taking on Utah State tonight. It's a stripe out in Moby Arena, which means different sections of the arena are assigned to wear different colors. I ordered a really cool striped shirt for this game, and it didn't come in time. So I'm repping a little bit of the green and white to have the stripes on today. So hopefully we'll get this place packed out, and you'll be able to see all the stripes in Moby Arena. The Aggies are definitely a tough opponent for the Rams. We faced them a little bit earlier in the season, falling 58-100 at their place, but it's been a few weeks since then. We're a different team. We've got a healthy roster. I'm feeling confident going into this game. I talked to Coach Farouk Manesh at shoot-around today, and we broke things down. That's going to be on later in the show, so make sure you don't click off of this stream because you're definitely going to want to get that inside scoop from Coach Ali. The Rams just got a win on Tuesday against Air Force to kind of roll into today with some good momentum. They were able to beat the Falcons 81-52. 3 Rams finished in double scoring figures with 6 others just one basket behind them. The trio of Pasquarelli, Rex Steiner, and Butler each had 11 points, making multiple threes, so I'm excited to hopefully see them getting hot from beyond the arc. Kyle Jorgensen also returned to the starting lineup. I don't know about you, but I just love the fire that guy brings to the game. You see him, he nails a good shot, and he's going to flex on him. He's going to give the crowd what they want, and honestly, I'm here for it. He had 9 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals on the game, so just really great all-around performance for Jorgensen. Like I said, I talked to Coach Ali before the game. We broke down kind of what he's expecting from the Aggies, what he's expecting from his own team. He talked a lot about Jace Butler and how he's been great addition to the starting lineup for the Rams. So definitely stay tuned for that exclusive interview. The Aggies are also hungry for a win. They're on a 2-game losing streak right now, just losing to UNLV and Grand Canyon. They're only 15-3 on the season. Pretty impressive record, but like I said, coming off of 2 losses, they're 6-2 in Mountain West play and just 1 game behind San Diego State for that first place spot. And they're yet to face the Aztecs this season, so that's definitely a game to look out for if you're following the Mountain West standings this year. Utah State is led by the duo of MJ Collins and Mason Falslev. Collins is averaging about 19.3 points per game and Falslev about 16.9. And both are very dangerous from beyond the arc, shooting about 38% from 3. Utah State likes to pressure the ball and force opponents into turnovers, so we can expect to see some aggressive defense tonight. They're forcing about 15.1 turnovers per game. We're also going to have Amy Van Dyken on the show and a pre-recorded segment with Alex Collins talking about football, Ram Rush, all that jazz. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned to this Rams Live pregame show. We're going to be back in a few minutes. Go Rams. Hey, Ram fans, welcome back to the Rams Live pregame show. Adam, I've missed you, man. It's been a while
Where's
since
everybody
we sat
been?
here.
I know. Where's everybody been at?
I know, it's crazy. I gotta ask you, when you have a game like this coming up and you're about to call the game, do you get any like pregame jitters when you know it's kind of a bigger game?
Of course. I want to go play still. I got 2 broken knees, and I'm still ready to go up and get some shots up. I'm like a player still. I still have that 42-point blowout still in the back of my head a little bit. So, yeah, the jitters are real. Of course I want to go out and play.
I'm
sure
that.
you do, too.
Oh yeah. The second, even for a basketball game, once I see the stands packed in here, I'm like, Moby Madness, like, I should have my jersey on right now.
Yeah,
This
ball
is
is
crazy.
live, for sure. I do. I'm that guy who can never stop being that guy who wants to talk about his playing days.
I love that. Honestly, that's like a green flag for me. Like, if you're a
Yeah.
friend and you're talking about that, like, you know what? I'm not gonna give you flack about that.
Appreciate that.
You were at the first meeting of the Rams versus the Aggies. What happened in that game? Kind of break it down for us.
And it was just a lot of bad things that went wrong quick. And when Jorgensen went down the first 5 minutes, that was probably the backbreaker for us. It really, he was the top 10 rated player on Ken Palm at that moment. So, for a guy like that who averages 16-plus points, to go down in that environment, it just added up really quickly on us. And so they made a lot of threes. Guys who probably don't make threes made shots. And, at home, that just place exploded, and we just got in too big a hole.
Oh, I bet. I remember when I played volleyball here, we actually played in that basketball arena for a game.
Right, yeah.
And they get rowdy in there. Those fans
It's not a nice place.
they're brutal.
They're getting some flack on Twitter, I think, if you've been in the trenches a little bit. They're getting called out for all this stuff. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's like you want that experience. You want to go in there and beat those guys. And at the same point, you want them to come in here and feel it, too.
Absolutely. We get the chance to return it tonight. What's changed about our Rams team since then?
Well, you got Bemba and Jorgensen healthy, and that's going to help a lot. And you've been able to play them together. We haven't been able to play them together. And so now you free up a lot of other people like maybe Kerry Booth, who's kind of gone through a lot of changes, had to play a lot of different positions. Kerry Booth has 40 more rebounds than the next guy on the team right now, and he's kind of gone up and down with his minutes. So, maybe that frees him up to kind of play a little tighter, a little tougher. So I think it just frees up more than just those 2 guys. It frees up everybody on the outside.
Absolutely. Is there a player on this team that you kind of wish that you had played with?
Yeah, there's always guys, but Bemba, I love feeding the post as a shooter. I give it up and relocate, and I'm open because I know he commands so much attention. So if you see me ripping my hair out when guys miss post feeds, that's what I do over there because I know you can get yourself open and do yourself some favors just giving the big man the ball.
That's your basketball ick.
Yeah. Send us set hard screens, rebound, and feed the post. Yeah.
Absolutely. We talk all the time about wanting to play your best basketball at the end of the season. That's going to be crucial for the Rams this year. And I honestly think it's really cool that every team gets to make the Mountain West tournament. What does the Rams team need to do to be playing their best basketball towards that time of year?
They need to find their swag again from deep. They do. They had a good game against Air Force, but Air Force is one of the worst teams in the country. So to me, the response tonight is going to be the real key to the rest of the season. Can we, come out and just put it on these guys early and then finish the season with some confidence? Because you're right, it's essentially we're not going to get in that large bid. Let's just be honest. So, what can we do in those 3-4 days in the Mountain West Conference? It's finding our confidence and getting our swagger back.
Absolutely. This is a great game to get their swagger back. Home crowd, big opponent. What You've done all your prep. What's the Aggies' number? What should we expect from them?
Well, they're just a tough team. I mean, they're top 10 in about every offensive category. I think the good thing we've got going for us is they've had a tough couple 3 games here. They're only averaging 74 points. So, we've got to find a way to limit them, not get them, those role players to make some shots. That'll really hurt us. So limiting role players and rebounding one-and-done possessions.
Thank you so much for joining the show again,
thank
Adam.
you.
We've got my pre-recorded segment with Coach Ali giving us all the inside scoop coming up next. You don't want to miss it. Hey everyone, it's Ruby Kaiser from Rams Live checking in with Coach Farouk Manesh before the Rams take on Utah State tonight. Coach, you guys played Utah State earlier in the season. What's changed about your team since that game?
It looked different watching the film without Rashawn and Kyle out there. And then it's our team. It didn't look like our team, to be honest. And we got to own it, the way we played and the way we handled it. But I'm excited for this group to get to be able to compete in this game tonight and kind of get back to playing the way they have been.
You guys have battled some injuries this season. Is there a little bit of a silver lining now that your roster is a little healthier, that you have some players like Carrie Booth, Nicola, Augie that can come off the bench and have had some serious real playing time experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime you can get that experience in the season for multiple guys that have gone through the fire of those games, I think it always helps you. But having that bench power, I think that's a huge lift for us. So you're able to have Jevin, Carrie, Augie come off the bench that are basically like starters for us. You almost look at it like we have 8 starters. So the more opportunities those guys get, I know they're going to be ready for it too.
Jace Butler taking on a little bit more of a starting role for the team. What has his impact been like on the court?
Jace has been awesome. I think Jace is just it's Mr. Consistent right there. It reminds me a lot of Jalen Lake in the past for us, that you knew what you were going to get each night out, and it's been fun to see him grow into his role too. And I think he just keeps getting better every single game. We kind of talked about that. This is kind of the first semester was back like almost like the second semester of his true freshman year, because he didn't get the same opportunities the year before. And I think now he's kind of coming into truly like his sophomore season, and you can see he's kind of turning the corner, almost like he's an upperclassman now.
You guys had a great win against Air Force this week. Rolling into this Utah State game, what should fans expect to see from the Aggies on the floor?
They get up and down the court. They're fast in transition. I think the biggest keys to this game are the rebounding battle and then the turnover battle. And I think that's usually the battle with Utah State. If you can control the ball and you can control the glass, you're going to give yourself a chance.
Speaking of fans, we've got students back on campus. How nice is it to have Moby fill up a little bit more again?
Oh yeah, that's Moby madness. Like you really start to feel it, especially when they're here like at the 30-minute mark before the game's about to start, and like you feel the energy in here, and you can tell the other teams feel that energy too. So we definitely need it tonight again.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. The Rams are tipping off at 8 p.m. tonight. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to follow at CSU Rams Live for all the in-game updates. Hey Ram fans, it's Ruby Kaiser and welcome back to the Rams Live pregame show. You might have seen these guys on our social feed this week. They've been blowing up the CSU socials, or maybe you've been scrolling on TikTok one day and you saw the imposter challenge and you're like, who are these guys? They're pretty funny. I'm going to give them a follow. Well, we've had the Sideline Bros on campus for the last couple days, and I've had some people who are like starstruck by you guys. They're like, oh my gosh, you guys have famous people on campus. I got a text yesterday from a friend who's like, I love those guys. I followed them forever. Like, they're so cool. But some people want to know, like, who are these guys? Who are these, like, 4 guys? Do they go to CSU? Are they just, like, basketball fans? So who are the Sideline Bros?
Well, we got the opportunity, thanks to you guys, to fly in. We're originally from Minnesota and Wisconsin, but we run a TikTok page and a YouTube page and an Instagram page, and we do sports like trivia, sports game style content. And so that's really what we post primarily, and we've kind of blown up over the past 3 months.
I mean, like he said, we're all from like the Midwest, us 2 from Wisconsin, those 2 from Minnesota, but we're all just 4 guys, probably just like you guys watching. We all love sports. We just decided one day we're going to start making videos, and now we're here. It's pretty awesome. We've only been posted for a few months, but yeah.
Just some guys who love sports. Like, what's better than that, honestly? I think everyone dreams of TikTok stardom. I know I do sometimes. So what was the moment that kind of blew you guys up? Did you expect that when you started making videos? Walk me through how all of this went down.
Okay, I'll answer this one. So me and Peyton, we kind of started the page originally. It was just us 2. And we started making the videos. We did have like a big goal in mind one day to kind of blow up like we kind of have. But obviously maybe we didn't expect it to get this big, this fast. And then along the way, we picked up Mick, we picked up Brandon. But we only started like so long ago. It honestly is pretty crazy that we've gained this much traction this fast. But I think we did kind of have like a big goal in mind when we did start.
Yeah. Did you guys just pick like Mick and Brandon up off the street, or like how do you guys know each other? Where'd you find them?
Mick was my roommate, and Gavin and I were doing 2-person videos, and the imposter trend was kind of like just starting, but not for us in the sports category. So we had that idea, and then Mick was my roommate. We had about 2,000-ish followers, and Mick joined, and it's kind of blown up since then.
Yeah, it's like as soon as we started doing imposter games, it just blew up and like took off from then. And it's been a blessing.
It's been awesome. So yeah, me, Peyton, and Mick, we all met in college. the way Brandon kind of got in, I've known Brandon my whole life pretty much. We met in middle school, high school. We played basketball, we played football together. So I kind of knew everybody here. We went to college together, we went to high school, and it's been awesome, honestly.
So you're just like the glue that holds the group together. If you guys were
I
a
didn't
boy
say
band and Gavin decided to leave the boy band, you'd be in trouble. Is that what we're saying?
I didn't say it. I mean, I'll take it.
Well, I sure hope the band never breaks up.
It
Mick, I got a question for you.
Yep.
You've had some like crazy lore online. Like everyone's talking about Mick.
Yeah.
What is going on with that? Like what is that?
Honestly, I have no idea. To be honest. It started as soon as I joined. Like many people started following and like talking about Mick this, Mick that. But I have no idea why. But it's been a blessing. Yeah.
Who is Mick? Tell me a little bit about yourself, Mick.
Honestly, I'm just a normal guy from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Yeah. That's it. That's really it.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
I dropped some lore on Mick. I mean, when he first joined the Sideline Bros, one of his first ever videos he had, he had one of the greatest pulls on channel history. And then the very next video he just didn't know what was going on. So he's had some of the highest highs and lowest lows. And some of your favorite NBA players like Josh Giddey and Jared McCain, Dylan Harper, they've all name dropped Mick in our comments. So he's well known around the world. He's being humble, but
That's pretty awesome. I love that. I've seen some of your guys' videos. I was playing the imposter game with my boyfriend and his friends the other day, and I'm like addicted to it now. Like, I don't really like games like that normally. I'm like, why am I so addicted to this game? So you guys have been on campus for a few days. You've got to go to Canvas. You've been in Moby. You met some players. What's been the highlight of the trip so far?
I mean, I got the mic, so I'll start, but definitely just hanging out with the players at Colorado State. They already knew us from our imposter game. They actually told us they've seen us, they've played it. And so when we played with them, it felt like we'd known them for years. It was just a really good time all around.
Honestly, it's either interviewing the players or going on a joyride on the golf carts in the football facility. It was very fun, and yeah.
I forgot about the go-karts. That was fun. We were moving those things around. I mean, honestly, for me, I feel like it's just been everything as a whole. This is our first, real, big collab, I guess, as far as, content goes. We've only been posted for so long, and, I mean, it couldn't have gone any better. As far as every single day, it's gone better than I expected. Not that I expected it to go bad, but, every day is, exceeding my expectations way. So it's all been awesome as far as that goes. But, yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, let's give Brandon the mic.
Right.
This guy
Let me get some airtime. No, I'd say honestly just getting the opportunity to fly out here and meet a bunch of amazing people. Honestly, it's just been a super cool trip. So, I don't know. That's my favorite part.
You guys had the opportunity to meet some of our basketball players yesterday, create some content with them. Who did you guys, bond the most with? Who's going to be your bestie after this trip?
I'll go first. So Brandon, right when we got here, wanted to call me out in a half-court contest because he's seen on my page I beat all these guys in a half-court contest. So right away he said we need to run one. And, I mean, what do you know? I beat him, of course. So Brandon, the leading scorer on the Colorado State basketball team, I did beat him in a half-court contest, but Kyle did get me. Kyle's from Minnesota. So what about you guys?
I would say Brandon, too. He actually didn't know we were coming to practice, and he saw my TikTok at the football facility, and he actually reached out to me the night before and was, telling me to come to practice. And then I showed up the next day, and he was just super cool to us. And then me and Mick had the opportunity of working with Carrie a lot, too, and Carrie was a really cool dude, so.
Yeah. I definitely have to say Carrie and Brandon. We played the game with them. It was very fun. They're great people to talk to. And, yeah, they're just cool guys in general. Yeah.
What about you?
Brandon was really cool. I also messed with Jace a lot. Jace was really funny during the imposter games too. So he was personable. So
I love it. No love for Jevin. Sorry, Jevin. Jevin was having the time of his life.
Jevin was cool too. Jevin was cool too.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. No, we don't want that. He was great.
No, we love Jevin. Honestly, they did a great job. They got all the personalities out of the guys. They were so excited that they were here. They were pumped. We had players waiting in the gym to play the imposter game with them that we didn't even ask to play. So it was pretty cool. Okay, I want you guys give your plug. What's next for the Sideline Bros? How do people find you if they don't know who you are? And what's in the future for this group?
Okay, so we're just Sideline Bros. You can look us up on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Those are our biggest platforms right now. TikTok's definitely been our biggest. We're over 100,000 on TikTok. Right now, our goal is to kind of just expand to other platforms. So YouTube, we have 5,000 subscribers. But we're really
a little
over that. But we're working to grow on YouTube. We're all kind of starting to stream right now a lot too. So that's been a big thing, kind of growing our personal brands. But yeah.
That's great, guys. I hate to cut you off. We're running out of time here. Thank you so much for joining the Rams Live pregame show.
Thank you.
Go follow the Sideline Bros. We'll be right back after this We've got a special interview with Alex Collins, the general manager of CSU football, coming up, so make sure to stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Ruby Kaiser with a Rams Live exclusive. We've got CSU football general manager Alex Collins here. Alex, when Coach Mora first got here, he said he wanted to build a wall around the state, get all those great athletes from Colorado to be Rams. What value is there in bringing Colorado in-state kids to CSU?
Yeah, I think there's a huge value in doing that, really just from kids that want to pour themselves into this program. We always talk about it in our recruiting process of, we want to bring talented players here, but we also want to bring players that really want to pour into this program, make the most of themselves, and have a true passion for being here. And so I think when you start in-state, when you start with kids that grew up coming to Ram games or being fans here, it really, gives them that extra motivation to do all the extra work that goes into being a great player outside of just our daily stuff that we do here.
Absolutely. I think some of my favorite stories is seeing some of those players in pictures when they're little kids at the CSU games wearing their CSU football jerseys, and then they're all grown up and they get to play for the Rams.
Yeah, I think that just makes it extra special for them, and I think you can see it with some of the guys that we had last year that are coming back of just, I always think of like a Jay Spella, growing up here in state, being a Ram fan, being here for 5 years, you can see how much it means to him, and just his willingness to pour into this program, I think, shows him what he's able to do on the field.
Ram Rush absolutely took over my feed last week, and I think everyone else's feed. The CSU football staff was able to divide and conquer and rush the state to get their name out there, talking to high school coaches and kids. What kind of impact and value does Ram Rush have, and what was the goal behind that?
Yeah, it really started from Coach Mora, from, honestly, our first phone call together. And, we were going through a lot of different things, and he just said, hey, hold on a second. He said, we're going to rush the state the first day we can. And then we went back to our conversation. So just really big for us to get out in this state, have a lot of schools that, we need to hit, frequently and make sure that they know that, CSU really cares about this state, not just when they have a high-profile football player, but really getting to schools, really every year and every period that we can, just to build those connections and those bonds and really make sure that all the coaches and players in the state know that, everything we're going to do from our perspective is going to start here in state.
What kind of feedback did you get from Ram Rush, not only from the coaches and the high school football players, but also the fans? I feel like the social media impact was huge alone.
Yeah, no, there was a huge impact for us and the fans and everyone. Some of our new coaches that maybe aren't from this area got to drive through some really beautiful areas of Colorado, so they got to learn the geography a little more. But I think it was just appreciated. I think, all the coaches in this state have always been great to me and our staff here, and they just really want to feel like they're valued in return, and that whether it's their feedback on players, whether it's inviting their staffs and their players here for, camps or more development or spring practice, just having that relationship and that connection so that coaches know that, CSU, we're here to be, an advocate for them, and we're here to help the coaches and players in the state grow at the same time.
When Ram Rush was getting talked about early on and you're planning it, what did success look like for you for that impact and what you hoped people would walk away with?
Yeah, I think the first thing for us is just, the numbers, right? I think we ended up getting to somewhere in the mid-40s, as far as schools in this state within the first day, which is a huge impact, and we've continued to go up to schools. I know Coach Morris spent some time this week going back to some schools in this state. So really wanted the impact to just be one, how far could we get? How many schools could we get to? Not just, hitting the schools that are close to us or the schools that have traditionally had players, but really trying to get, as many different places in the state as we could.
When Coach Moore and the staff was meeting with those football players and coaches, what was the message that they were delivering to them?
Yeah, I think just you always want to make sure whenever there's a coaching change like this, you want to make sure they understand what CSU is going to be to them moving forward. And so with the new staff and Coach Mora just being really big on them knowing that, hey, we're going to be here, every chance that we get. We want your coaches and your players here on our campus every chance that they have, and really just want to make sure those coaches know that there's going to be a personal touch for how CSU is going to interact with them moving forward.
Is Ram Rush going to be an annual thing? Are we going to see it again this year? Have you guys talked about that yet?
We haven't talked about it yet. I think it will be somewhat of an annual thing, but I also, hopefully as this goes on that, the fact of us recruiting the state really hard isn't this grand idea every year. I want it to become more of the expectation and the realization from the coaches and players in the state that us being out in every corner of the state is going to be a consistent piece and not just a one-time thing.
From your perspective as general manager of CSU football, what excites you the most about in-state recruiting?
I think it's like what we talked about at the beginning, just getting a group of kids here, at all levels that just are really passionate about this school. I think in today's era of football, retention is a really key piece of this as well. And so getting kids from the state that want to not only come to CSU, but stay here and finish their careers here, I think is huge. So it really excites me to be able to get more kids on this campus that are, have this extra passion about this place.
Thanks so much, Alex, for your time. We're so excited to meet some of those new CSU football players and coaches. Make sure to follow at CSU Rams Live. We'll have all the exclusive content to come. Hey everyone, it's Ruby Kaiser and welcome back to the Rams Live pregame show. I am sitting with greatness right now. Miss Amy Van Dyken, who has been so kind to let me interview her again. We just finished a great sit-down feature interview at the Moby Pool, so definitely follow at CSU Rams Live. You're going to see that coming soon. Amy, what has it been like to be back on campus? You just had a little mingling session with some great friends and the swim girls. What was it like?
It was so awesome. I had my girl that brought me on my recruiting trip out here to Colorado State, and then new swimmers, old swimmers. It's just been so magical. I'm so glad to be back.
Oh, that's so great. We sat in the pool earlier recalling some of your time at Colorado State. I cannot believe that there was a time where you said, I'm not going to be a swimmer anymore. I'm
Right.
done. I'm calling it quits.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame you because I've been there before for sure. John Matos, who's a close friend of yours now, but was the swim coach at the time, he gave you he kind of pulled you back in. How'd he do that?
So he said, hey, how about you give me a semester? And if you like swimming, then keep doing it. If you don't, I'll pay for your rest of the year of your schooling. I was like, okay, I can figure that one out. Good, so I did it. Fell in love with my team, my coach, all of it. So I wouldn't trade that for the world. If he wouldn't have done that, my life would be very different.
Absolutely. All those medals that you got somewhere, they wouldn't be there. Your neck probably wouldn't be as strong from carrying all those medals around them.
That's right.
We've talked a lot about your time as a swimmer. I don't want to be too repetitive with the other interviews you've done today, but you're a fun lady, and I love spending time with you. I want to know a little bit about, you're back in Fort Collins, and I bet you ran this town when you were here. Do you have any fun memories from outside of the pool that are coming back to you that we can share for the camera?
Yeah, we can share for the camera.
We're
Here's where
too
go.
crazy.
So I remember hanging out at CB and Potts, which is no longer there, and we would get like 2-for-1 burgers, and kids on a budget. We just loved it. And then, of course, we would spend all that extra money on beer. It was fine. But I just remember hanging out with my friends, my roommates, my teammates. That's the best part of college, and I will never forget it. It is such a memory in my mind, and I love them all so much.
It's so fun when I talk to these people who are coming back who are amazing athletes, have done like the most amazing things in their sports career, and they always talk about Old Town.
Yes.
And it's crazy, but I love it because that's what I talk about too.
Old Town is the best. You got Bojos, you've got all of it. I mean, come on.
It's so fun. You've been such an inspiration. You continue to advocate for disability and the accessibility for people who have disabilities. What is one thing that you want people to know and to take away with that advocacy?
That it's a lot harder to be sitting in this chair and trying to act normal than what it looks like. A lot of times we make it look really good, and of course we make it look cute. Come on, Ruby, we know that.
Of course, that's not hard for you.
Oh, you're totally but it's not as easy as it seems. So, if you see someone with a disability, give them a howdy.
I love that. You're so sweet. And I think you do such a great job of connecting with people. And you've spent some time as a broadcaster. You've done the Olympics. What was it like going to the Olympics as an athlete, but also on the other side of the coin?
So it's so weird. When you're on the other side of it, you actually see that the Olympics is a big deal. They always kept us away from the fans, away from the pomp and circumstance. And then when I was covering it for Fox Sports, and I looked out and I saw the entrance to the 2012 games, I looked at someone and said, oh my gosh, this is actually a big deal. They were like, yeah. So it's been amazing to see both sides of that. I love it so much. I've been very grateful.
It's such a cool perspective. And I just love the Olympics. My mom makes fun of me because it'll be like 2 in the afternoon and I'm crying watching curling. I'm like, it's their dream and they're representing their country. And it's a moment that I think everyone can come together for. Do you have any moments from the Olympics that stand out to you and that come back to you when it's an Olympic year again?
I do, and I know we've talked about a few of those. One of the ones that I just remember is going after prelims into finals, going to the McDonald's because they had them on every corner in the Olympic Village, and just picking out with my teammates. Just so much fun. And everyone goes, you're an athlete, you don't eat that crap. And I go, yes, I do eat that crap.
Oh yeah, you'll see a lot of athletes that eat that crap sometimes. And you're still an athlete to this day. Tell us a little bit about how you stay competitive now. And I saw a video of you water skiing the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, get this girl back in the water. I love it.
You're so cute. I water ski, I snow ski, I rock climb. I've done everything. I've even been second at the CrossFit Games for adaptive athletes.
Love it.
So the competitive spirit will never leave me. You'll be able to see that tonight on the court.
I love it. Amy, you're such an inspiration. It was so great to talk to you today. Seriously, it meant so much to me. I can't even put it into words. So I really hope you enjoyed tonight and this weekend. And everyone, come to Pack the Pool tomorrow. We're celebrating the swimmers. We're celebrating Amy Van Dyken. I'll be there in the morning. So hope to see you there. Thank you so much. We'll be back after this short break to wrap it up, and then we got some basketball to play. Hey everyone, it's Ruby Kaiser and welcome back to the Rams Live pregame show. Wow, what an honor to sit here and chat with Amy Van Dyken. These are the days where I'm just like, my job rocks. Like, I just got to sit and talk to a 6-time Olympic gold medalist. She's the best. I'm so excited for my feature interview to come out so you guys can really see us dig deep and have a real conversation about what her career has been like, what her life has been like. She's just truly such an inspiration. This show really flew by for me. 45 minutes, like that felt like 3 minutes. I've had so much fun being live with you guys today. We had a great show. The Sideline Bros, how awesome are they? They've been hanging out with us all week. They're going to be at the game today. So if you happen to pop into Moby, make sure to go over and say hi to them or give them a follow on Instagram or Twitter. Alex Collins dropping some knowledge about Ram Rush. I don't know about you, but my feed was just overloaded by the CSU in-state football recruiting efforts. I think it's so awesome how Jim Mora has made such a big precedent on recruiting in-state talent. He's going to be at the game tonight, so I'm sure you'll see some courtside flicks from him. It's been great getting to chat with him as well. We're almost to tip-off. We're about 15 minutes away here. Let's see if you can kind of see the stripe out planning out here. We'll see once we fill in a little bit more closer to game time. But I'm excited to see this Rams team take on the Aggies. They're a completely different team than the first time they played each other. And I think they got a little chip on their shoulder. They remember that game. And I'm excited to see how they come out, especially with the addition of Jorgensen back in the lineup. I'm sure he has a very big chip on his shoulder from that original game where he did get hurt. So it was a great show. I'm glad to have Adam Nigon on again. He's always great dropping some ball knowledge for us. My little chat with Coach Ali, he dropping some knowledge on the game, giving us the outlook for how it's going to go. Thank you so much for tuning in to CSU Rams Live. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to be giving you all the game updates here in Moby Arena. We're the only place where you can get the inside scoop. So make sure to follow us at CSU Rams Live. We've got updates, coach interviews, and we're just about to tip off in Moby. So you can go ahead, flip the channel, turn the game on, and I'll see you there. Thanks for tuning in. Go Rams.